Today we'll be discussing how to install the new FunnyPlaying Laminated IPS Kit for your Game Boy Advance. This kit features an on-screen display, memory for your settings, and touch control for the brightness. This kit includes the IPS screen, the bracket, the flex cable, and the 3 wires for your on-screen display. This kit also has a specific shell that is made for it. You can use an OEM shell, but the amount of trimming required will be unappealing to most people. Therefore, for this video, I'm just going to be using a laminated ready shell. The first step is going to be preparing the flex cable by soldering the wires. There's only 3 points that need to be soldered: select as well as left and right bumper. This is entirely optional, as you can still access the entire on-screen display with just the touch sensor. While I'm not necessarily worried about shorting out on the ribbon cable, I still am going to put a piece of Kapton tape over the 32-pin ribbon cable, since I'm going to be using this kit in a 40-pin model. Once you've got the wires soldered onto the ribbon cable, you can insert the ribbon cable into your console with the metal contacts facing up. From this point, you can begin soldering the wires to each point. Select goes to test point 2, left bumper goes to test point 9, and right bumper goes to test point 8. Once you've got your connections soldered into place, you can begin to put your whole console back together. First, let's grab the shell and begin by getting that ready for the motherboard to be installed. There's a small piece of plastic in the link port section of the shell that will need to be removed before the motherboard will fit into place. All you have to do is use your fingers just to snap it out of place. After removing that, place the IPS screen into the shell. You'll then take your Game Boy motherboard and position it so that the flex cable is ready to be inserted into the control PCB. Next, we'll take our foam piece that came with the kit and we'll cut down a small piece to hold the touch sensor in place below our bracket. This will help ensure that the touch sensor is held in place and actually accessible from the outside of the console. We then slip the alignment bracket over the display and the foam piece after connecting the IPS display. Once you have your screen, alignment bracket, and motherboard ready, you can begin to put your membranes and buttons back into the console. Once that's done, you can flip your motherboard over, and from here you can put your console back together as normal. The on-screen display can be accessed in 2 ways. If you soldered your wires, you can hold select and left and right bumper, and that'll bring up your on-screen display. Alternatively, if you didn't solder those wires, you can still access the display with the touch sensor. Long hold down by the Game Boy Advance logo and the menu will appear. One short press will change the setting, and one long press will change which option you're adjusting. If you're using the buttons, you can change which option you're adjusting by pressing select, and then your 2 bumper buttons will either adjust the value up or down. And that's all there is to it. We hope this video helped you, and if you enjoyed this content and want to see more like it, please be sure to subscribe and check out our wiki in the description.